The Clever Tortoise and the Proud Elephant, a tale of humility. Have you ever met someone who thought they were better than everyone else just because they were bigger, faster, or stronger? Well, gather around little ones, because today we are going deep into the heart of the forest, where animals talk, trees whisper, and every creature has a lesson to teach. This is the story of how a slow, little tortoise taught a mighty elephant the true meaning of humility. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, filled with chirping birds, whispering winds, and sparkling streams, there lived a powerful elephant named Tembo. Tembo was the largest and strongest animal in the forest. His footsteps made the ground shake, and his loud trumpet could be heard from miles away. Because of his size and strength, Tembo became very proud. "I am the king of the forest," he would boast. "No one is as mighty as I am. I can push down trees, lift boulders, and crush anything in my path." Most of the animals avoided arguing with Tembo because they feared his temper and size. But one day, a small, wise tortoise named Koko decided that Tembo needed a lesson. Koko was no bigger than a coconut, and he moved slowly. But Koko was cleverer than anyone in the forest. He had solved many problems for the animals, and they often came to him for advice. One bright morning, as the sun painted the sky golden, Tembo marched into the forest clearing where many animals were gathered. "Make way for your king," Tembo shouted, scattering the squirrels and frightening the birds. The little tortoise, sitting peacefully under a tree, raised his head slowly and said in his calm voice, "Tembo, strength alone does not make one a king. True kings are wise, kind, and humble." Tembo laughed loudly, shaking the leaves from the trees. "Are you, a tiny shell walker, trying to teach me, the strongest in the forest? Ha! Don't make me laugh again or the river will overflow." Koko blinked slowly and replied, "Oh, would you like to challenge me, Tembo? Let us have a contest of strength and cleverness. If you win, we shall call you king. But if I win, you must promise to be humble." All the animals gasped. A tortoise challenging an elephant? This would be a story to remember. Tembo smirked. "Fine. What's the challenge?" Koko smiled. "It's simple. I will tie one end of this strong vine around your leg, and the other end I'll take with me. You will pull your end, and I will pull mine. If I let go, you win. But if you let go, I win." Tembo laughed again. "You pull me? I'll drag you across the forest." But Koko only nodded and said, "Let's begin tomorrow at sunrise." That night, Koko walked quietly through the forest and spoke to his friend, Bongo the buffalo, who lived by the river on the far side of the forest. "Bongo, I need your help. Tomorrow morning, I want you to pull this vine as hard as you can when you feel a tug. Don't stop until you hear 3 bird calls." Bongo agreed, and the plan was set. At sunrise, animals gathered from all corners of the forest. Birds perched on branches, monkeys swung through trees, and even the lions came to watch. Tembo stood on one side of the clearing with the vine tied to his leg. Koko had already disappeared into the bushes with the other end of the vine. "Are you ready, oh mighty Tembo?" a monkey shouted. Tembo raised his trunk proudly. "I was born ready." He began to pull. To his surprise, the vine pulled back strongly. Tembo braced himself and pulled harder. But the vine tugged even stronger, almost yanking him forward. The elephant's eyes widened. "What kind of tortoise is this?" He dug his feet into the ground and pulled with all his strength. Birds flapped away as dust rose into the air. The tug-of-war continued for several minutes. Tembo sweated, grunted, and then groaned, but the other end kept pulling with equal force. Finally, Tembo stumbled and let go of the vine, falling to the ground with a big thud. The animals gasped in amazement. Moments later, Koko came walking calmly out of the bushes, his shell uncracked and his steps steady. "But how?" Tembo stuttered, getting to his feet. Koko smiled and explained how he had tied the vine to Bongo the buffalo, who had pulled from the other side of the forest. "I used my mind, not just my muscles," said Koko gently. "Even the strongest can be defeated by wisdom and teamwork." Tembo looked around at the animals who were all cheering and laughing, not to mock him, but because they were happy the proud elephant had learned a valuable lesson. Tembo lowered his head. I was wrong to think strength made me better than everyone else, he said. Today, this small tortoise has taught me humility. From now on, I promise to use my strength to help others and to listen before I speak. The animals cheered even louder, and from that day on, Tembo was no longer feared, he was loved. He helped build shelters, carried heavy loads for others, and became a protector of the forest, guided by the wise words of his new friend, Koko. And so, dear children, remember, no matter how big or small you are, wisdom and humility are more powerful than pride. It's not the loudest voice or the biggest size that makes a leader, it's a kind heart and a clever mind. The end. If you enjoyed this magical story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, then hit the subscribe button to join our family here at Kids Delight. We bring you heartwarming stories from all over the world that teach lessons and spark imaginations. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep learning, and keep being kind.